Thank you for joining us today on Community Focus. And we have today with us Lynne Potter.
Hi.
And Kathy Carrico, and our bride-to-be, Tara. Tara, I cannot remember your last name. Lewis?
Lewis.
Tara Lewis. Tara works at the library, so she's actually in full swing of planning her wedding this year, which will be the end of this month. Tell us a little bit about your planning and what you're doing right now.
Well, right now we're kind of just hurry up and waiting, you know.
Is everything done?
We're at that point where we've got, you know, everything booked and everything, centerpieces made and all that kind of stuff. So now we just have to wait for that day and get it all done.
So how long ago did you start this process?
We got engaged in February.
Just
this
February?
was a very short.
Oh, wow.
And you're finished?
Yes.
Wow.
But I'm really one of those that I just have to, you know, if I have a to-do list, it's got to be done, or I can't.
Tell us a little bit about your venue, Tara.
We are actually getting married on our farm out in the Berg. We have a beautiful hill, like I was telling you earlier, with a gorgeous view. So we're going to get married on the hill outside, and we rented a tent to have our reception. So we are praying for good weather. So, but we're having kind of a vintage style theme wedding, I guess you could call it. So I've got a lot of copper and antiques, and so all of my shopping has been done in flea markets and secondhand.
You're my kind of gal.
Yeah, mine too.
It really has.
Mine
I mean, the tent and the food has really cost the most, you know, everything else. I mean, we probably decorated for under $300.
Nice.
So.
That's the way to do it in today's economy. You have to be conscious of cost. Did you pay for pretty much everything, or is your parents helping?
We are paying for it.
I think that's the general. Kathy Carrico, she does a lot of decorating. Is that the general thing that's going on now? A lot of kids
we have
are
seen
saving
it both
up.
ways. We've seen the bride and groom being paying for a lot of the things, but we've also seen a lot of the parents paying for it too, especially for first-time brides. Anybody that sometimes has been married second, even third times, they're usually doing it themselves. But she's right. A lot of times your venue, your food, or your big ticket item, and the DJ sometimes, unless you know someone, photographer, those are your cake. Those are your big ticket items right there. And then, you know, you can, from there, if you do a lot of do-it-yourself things, it really cuts the cost down a lot. Yeah.
I know you have a lot of flowers here, Kathy, and what do most brides or wedding parties prefer, silk or fresh?
You know, we probably get an equal amount of both. Excuse me. We have some people that will do silk arrangements such as these on all the tables, but then they may want their bridal party flowers to be real flowers. We have one, well, actually we're doing one this weekend here in Bardstown, and the table flowers are all silk, but the bridal party will be real flowers. And so we will be up Friday night really busting a gear to get these bridal flowers done. And you were speaking of vintage. We have one in December that is doing the same thing. She's using the old trunks and things like that, books on the tables, a lot of vintage. So we've gotten a lot of that stuff. So evidently that the burlap is really big now. Burlap is a real big thing. And so yeah, we're seeing a lot of that vintage slash I'm not sure what the other word is.
I call mine vintage country chic.
Yeah, right.
Like all of that mixed into one, because I've got lace, I've got pearls, I've got, you know, all of that.
People are mixing burlap and lace. You know, like this girl this weekend wants her flowers wrapped in burlap with lace over the top, and then the pins that have the pearls on the top.
Wow.
Yes, and you've got a little touch of your country, you have a little touch of your classy, I guess, with your lace and your pearls and stuff. So it's a mixed bag of people that, you know, and then we have one in September that wants all real flowers. And, you know, we try to tell people that's great, but they have to understand real flowers really do cost a lot more money.
Well, I did my bouquet. I made it out of the silk flowers. But all of my bridesmaids will carry just a bundle of baby's breath, and that's you know, I'm just gonna wrap the baby's breath, and then all of my centerpieces, I've got several like old antique vases and stuff, and they're just going to be baby's breath as well. So that's I ordered actually today $300 worth of baby's breath.
But you know, you're keeping it
So-
simple. And I think that's the key, because a lot of people are spending thousands of dollars on things that for one day, which I know it's an important day,
But still.
but I think keeping it simple is the key, because it's really about bringing your family and friends together for the day, you know, to celebrate your special day.
There are a lot of people that will spend a fortune on their venue, and I try to tell them, think about pictures. Because that's what you're going to have when it's all said and done, is your pictures. Now, okay, you can have silk flowers, and you can keep those. Real flowers you can't. So yeah, simple, but yet think about the things that you're going to have after it's all said and done. And I'm going to have my memories. Am I going to remember everything that happened at my reception? Probably not. You know, you'll remember a lot of the fun things. You'll look back at your video. You'll look back, but you'll really look back at those pictures and things. And those are really the big things that people need to stop and think about. Find a nice place, you know.
Or a place that means something to
That
you. Right?
yes, yes.
Because we actually, we got engaged at the very spot that we're going to get married.
How cool.
In. So, yeah.
I
That is
think
what-
that's when you add those personal touches that don't cost a lot of money. That's free. A memory, a place, most time that's free. And you know, we do have a lot of beautiful places in Bardstown to get married at. Some of the best weddings I've ever been to was in the country, outside, sitting on a hay bale, or the bride comes up in a carriage that her dad owns, or whatever it may be. It was just beautiful. And I know the hill that you're getting married on, it seems like a knob. And
It's gorgeous.
It's
It
absolutely
overlooks
gorgeous.
the whole valley.
The
It is
valley.
very pretty down there, yeah. The wedding we're doing this weekend is an outdoor wedding as well, and with a lot of hay bales outside. We have shepherd's hooks with lanterns, you know, your country look, a lot of burlap, things like that. So, and it's the same big tent, you know, and my husband made an arbor, so complete with limbs going across the top and everything, you know. So that's, yeah, we're going to have canvas hanging off of it, you know, and they're going to get married in front of that, and then everybody will move into the tent, and they've even got a separate area set aside for those people who want to smoke or something like that. There's things like that. So yeah, it's your little country kind of situation there with the hay bales and stuff like that too. So that's a big thing, is the hay bales now. That's
Well,
a real
I know when the three of us got married many, many years ago, especially me to my first husband, and you two to the husband you now have, it's amazing how things have changed. It's more personal. Back 20, 30 years ago, you got married and you were the same dresses. It was in a church, and now marriage means so much more to the groom. I think, does your fiance have a bit more of a say in it now?
He does, absolutely. He's done so much too. He's made a lot of things. We're using a lot of barnwood and stuff like that.
Wow.
So he's actually made a lot of the things that we're going to do by hand. So
That's awesome. I think that when the male takes a part of that, it means more to both of you as a couple, and you have more of a connectedness.
Yep.
So did you have a joint shower?
We did. We did. We had a couple shower, and then we actually, something really cool that we did too. We had a stock the bar / derby party this past weekend. So, you know, everybody got together and we celebrated Derby and our wedding. And
I think
Wait
there
a
were a
minute,
lot.
wait, back up. Did she say stock the bar?
Yes.
Stock the bar.
So does that mean that if I had been invited, I would have had to bring something for your bar area?
for the wedding.
Wow.
And there were a
That's
lot of
really
stock the bar
interesting.
derby parties this weekend for these weddings.
I know, I heard Chad and them did one as
yes,
well,
they did one
yeah.
as well, and
It worked
that's
out
a pretty
really,
cool
it
idea.
worked out really
yeah.
well. It was perfect
Yeah.
timing, you know, because we're just right around the corner for the.
And you know, I agree with Wilma on the fact that, like, back when I got married, we just had a plain old reception. The people that the venue, they did the decorating. We didn't do anything but pay for the right sign the check. And of course, my dad did that. And it's so different. Larry could have cared less. Just tell me when to be, where to be, and what time, and what do I wear, that kind of thing.
Just like a man, show up.
Yeah. But now it's more that my son is getting married this summer, and he is constantly saying to me and his fiance, why don't y'all ever ask me about, you know, what do I want? So we started asking him, and he would say, I don't care, you know, whatever. But he has put in his 2 cents worth here and there occasionally. You know, he has offered some bits and
Rob
pieces.
just wants to feel included, Kathy.
They all do.
Yes.
They all do.
And I think that's great.
That is very important, I think, now more than it ever used to be when I got married, is for both of you to feel this is your wedding. Yes, it's kind of about the bride in a way, but it's also just as much about the groom, and he's, it takes a two-way street.
But you know, I think that doing that through the process of getting married, being engaged, getting married, making both partners, you and your fiance, a part of it, it sets the tone for your entire marriage.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think that you share more throughout your marriage, and I hope that it would keep couples together when they start doing that as a couple. So congratulations.
Thank
you.
We're so
Congratulations.
excited.
Yeah.
Kathy, what are some of the other decorations and other ideas that you have? I know you have chair covers with
I am actually sitting on a chair cover here. Normally I would probably put a sash, and I don't think you can see them from here, but we do have multiple sashes of
teal
very
one.
different colors. These are just a couple of the colors we have here. But we have lots of other colors. We have got columns, we have got backdrop. We will do the flowers, silk or real. We have got, like I said, my husband built an arbor. We have arches, we have canvas, tulle, we have all kinds of candles and candle holders. Don't ask me to get on Craigslist.
You're not going to
let
go
me
hunting it down?
Do not let me get on Craigslist, because that is my weak spot, Craigslist, because but that's where I find the majority of the items that I have that we use come from people from Craigslist.
Well, and I know I had a friend that her daughter got married a year ago, and I gave you her number, and you bought some things from her, because that's the best thing about a wedding is don't just throw that stuff away. It can be
Somebody can
recycled.
recycle.
You said that you
Yes.
bought things.
Very good point.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't think I've bought anything other than the flowers I made my bouquet with. I can't think of anything that I bought that was off the shelf. You know, it was all
yeah.
secondhand.
Yeah.
Or,
Kudos to the couples that are recycling. I just think that's awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
And repurposing for a wedding.
It's a big deal, and it's a lot of planning. I'm amazed that they got engaged in February and this is May and she's going to get married. I mean, I know it can be done, and we've had to work up situations like that too, where people would say, I'm getting married. In fact, my daughter has a friend that's getting married in July, and I think that's going to be kind of the same way. It's going to be, I'm going to get asked at the last minute or something, and that's okay. We'll provide. We will do whatever we can to make. That's our mission, is to make it the day that the bride has always dreamed of. And when a bride comes to us, and my husband and I had a discussion about this just this weekend, he said, how long do you think you're going to do this? Of course, I'm like everybody, I'm getting older, and I said, well, I don't know, as long as I feel like it, but there's times when I stop and think, I don't know if I can go on and do this, it wears me out. But then the bride will come to us and she will say, this is exactly what I dreamed of. Just exactly what I want. That's it right there.
That's rewarding.
It's not about the money. It's not about the pretty or whatever. It's about pleasing that bride and that groom and giving them what they want. And that's exactly what we do. That's why we do it.